Let's talk about last night's episode of Scandal. And oh my gosh, it is just crazy. They are just dropping bombs. I mean, seriously, Fitz shoots down the plane that killed Olivia's mother. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to get to that. But right off the top, the major storyline this episode is about the Democratic primary debate. And one of the candidates is Josephine Marcus. And she hires Olivia because she has a secret. And that secret is she had a baby 30 years ago and gave it up for adoption. Olivia sends her team out to Montana to pay off the people who might know about this secret and will give away the secret and ruin her chances of becoming the next president. So with her team out in Montana, they quickly find out that she actually didn't give up the baby for adoption, but that her mother kept the baby and raised it as her own. So Josephine's sister is actually her daughter. It's a great reveal. Like, you don't really predict that it's going to come, but it's a great reveal nonetheless. And Olivia tries to tell Josephine that she needs to come out in front of this and tell the truth so that she doesn't get slammed at the debate. And she's like, no, this will kill my sister. I'm not going to use this to gain any favor with the public. Just leave it alone. So, in other stories, that the lines that are going on, we find out that Huck and Jake are working together, which is great. And they are basically trying to figure out all this stuff about Operation Remington. And they've been spending the entire episode doing all these secret meetings and talking, and it's crazy. We basically find out that Operation Remington stems all the way back to when Fitz went to Iran to grab these people out, and they did the secret mission. But what we didn't realize was that Fitz was actually not the one flying the plane, and they lied. And this other guy, Peter, who was killed, who committed suicide in the last episode, was the one who actually flew the plane. And now we find out that Fitz was actually in Iceland, and he was working on a secret mission for the government, and he took down a commercial 747, killing 329 people. And what we ultimately find out is that there was a woman on the plane named Maya Lewis, and it turns out that she was actually Olivia's mother. What? What? I mean, it is absolutely crazy. How can we find this out? How is this true? Does that mean that Olivia's father ordered the hit? Does that mean that he killed his own wife? I mean, there are so many questions. It's bananas. And then not only that, but we also have this amazing scene with Melly and Olivia at this correspondence dinner where she basically says to Olivia, we need you back. We want you to work on the campaign for Fitz. We want you for the re-election campaign. He needs you. He can't breathe without you. And because of that, I need you. It's amazing. Olivia looked absolutely gorgeous in this black and white dress. Her hair, her makeup, it was perfect. She looked stunning. And it was amazing. I cannot believe Melly would do that. And it was just such a great scene. Now, the only part of this episode that was kind of driving me crazy was the way Olivia was treating Jake. I mean, we get it. Olivia and Fitz are endgame. I know. But we have to be able to allow her, there's no way that she's going to sit around for 4 years and wait for Fitz. So we have to at least allow her to move on in some way. And I did not like the way that she kind of just used Jake as her boy toy in this episode. It kind of bothered me a little bit. And I'm really glad that he stuck up for himself at the end and basically said, listen, I'm not going to be second fiddle to anybody, not even the president. And I love that. And even when Jake and Fitz were earlier having the little basketball match, I like that he stood up for himself there too. And he was basically I'm not going to back down to you. I don't care if you're the president. You're not getting away with all these things that you think you're going to get away with. So it was kind of crazy, kind of awesome. There were so many awesome scenes. Rowan and Fitz going at it with each other. Basically, Fitz telling him to stand down and leave Jake alone. And he's like, listen, I don't take orders from anybody. I've never taken orders from anybody in the president's office, and I'm not going to start with you. And it was, again, the two of them, Rowan and Fitz, facing off with one another. It was awesome. I mean, there were so many of those little moments in this episode that I thought were great. Cyrus basically getting Olivia, getting poked was awesome when, he sends his little bitch boy out to Montana to try to, get all the people that know about the secret about Josephine to turn on her. And that was just, they got poked. So I thought that was brilliant. And then we also had some really great moments with Sally Langston and her basically making her pitch to want to run for president and trying to get this guy, Leo Bergen, I think his name is. And basically, he's like the campaign manager that everybody was trying to get in this episode, which I thought was kind of funny. Everybody wants Leo. Everybody wants Leo. And he basically said, I don't want Fitz because Fitz is a loser. And he turned down Josephine hired Olivia before Leo could make his pitch to her. So I thought that was kind of great. And then Sally basically cornered him in the men's washroom at the correspondence dinner and said, listen, I'm going to run as an independent. No, hypothetically, if I ran for as an independent, what would my chances be? So it looks like Leo is going to work with Sally. And after all that we've just found out with Fitz and basically Operation Remington, there's no way Olivia's going to work on Fitz's campaign. So it looks like Olivia's going to work with Josephine, even though she fired her and then wanted to rehire her. I mean, there were so many crazy things going on. And then there was the one hilarious moment when basically Harrison tells Quinn, yeah, we know all about drill, baby, drill. You've been benched and you're basically grounded. So I love that. There was a couple like light moments in this episode. And then, of course, Quinn goes and buys a gun. Hello, what is this going to lead to? Quinn needs to simmer down. She's getting a little out of control. So many great moments. I love the fact that Huck and Jake are working together. I like the fact that, Fitz is aware that Jake is looking into this. Like every moment feels heightened at this point. And again, Olivia's father putting his foot down and basically saying, you don't want me as your enemy because you don't know what I'm capable of. And if he's capable of killing his own wife, God help us all. I mean, this was a great episode, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. Guys, see you next week.